Well, good afternoon, everyone. We're back out here in the shop. I'm going to work on my snow blower today. We've had, quite a bit of snow. We've had a couple of good storms last week, got about 5 inches, 6 inches each storm. So my walk behind snow blower's kind of taking a beating and needs to be tuned up a little bit. So we're going to go ahead and do that, change the oil. It's not blowing like it should, so we're going to take the second stage apart and see about straightening the fins out and that. When I suck the rocks up off the gravel driveway, it really beats the crap out of that snow blower. So we'll go ahead and take care of that, and I'll bring you along and show you how we do it. Just got out the shop. I don't know if you can read the thermometer there, but it's just not quite 25 degrees. That's Fahrenheit. So I've got the fire started up. We'll get the place warmed up a little bit, and then I'll bring you back, and we'll go ahead and start changing the oil and tearing this thing apart. So till then. All right here's the oil drain, and it's just a little easier to do if you take this wheel off. So I'm going to go ahead and take that bolt out right there and start this draining. All right, got her draining there. I warmed the engine up when I pulled it in. I keep the snow blower in the greenhouse so that the snow melt off. It gets up about 45 degrees in there during the day when the sun's shining. So we'll go ahead and let that finish draining out, and then get on with the rest of this. All right, she's done draining. I've went ahead and cleaned up the cap, put some new Teflon tape on the end of the pipe fitting there. We'll go ahead and get this sealed back up here. That Teflon tape really helps for the leaks. All right, I'm going to be tipping this thing over in front and back and all that, and I don't want the gas in the tank to run all over, and I'm not going to take the tank off to drain the gas out. So here's a little trick that I do to solve that problem. Take the cap off, like that. That's a little piece of grocery bag, plastic grocery bag, and then just tighten that back down. Now that won't leak out past the vent, and we'll be able to rock the machine up onto the blower, or tip it back onto the handles, depending on which end we're working on. So, now a little trick there might come in handy if you got to tip it back. Okay, here's another problem. I built these skids, but you can see they're kind of bent around, and the bottom of the chute here, get this to focus, it's tore off right there. Hit a rock or something, and it's yanked that bottom tray down. So we'll get all that welded back on and get everything aligned back up. This side's kind of bent. I don't know if you can pick it up there, but it's sort of bent. The shoes look like they're holding up okay, but yeah, that in there is really bent, and you know, it just kind of flimsy. So we'll get all that straightened around. And right there, the auger. Thought the auger was feeling funny, and it's popped right out of the mount there. So we'll have to get that back in. So yeah, it was due for a little TLC. So all right, that's the front of it. All right, this is the bottom. Got her rolled up on the chute there, the intake. Looks like the cutting edge right here is wore a little more on this side than this side. There's a broken weld right there that holds this back black plate on right there, so I have to weld that tab back on. And that's about all I can see on the underside here. Everything else seems to be looking okay. All the linkage seems to be all right. My repair job on the shift indicator seems to be holding up okay. The handlebars, don't know if you can pick it up, but it looks like this handlebar on this side might be bent down just a little. Maybe I can get a better view of it here. That's hard to say. That's probably not enough to even worry about. We'll see what it looks like once we get it all back up. I aired the tires up, 20 pounds in each tire, so that when we start aligning things, we got, we don't have a flat tire. We'll kind of think of a game plan how we're going to tear this apart and get back with you. All right, I got the bottom of the engine or snow blower off. And this is the guts here. This is the drive pulley for the blower. This is the drive for the forward or the wheels, and then this here is the transmission. So when you spin the wheel here, you can kind of see what it does. When you actuate the lever, it drives this rubber wheel against this disc, and depending on where that wheel is, it's what gear you got. And so right there, that's second gear. There's first gear, and it just keeps moving up to sixth gear. And then reverse is on the other side of the pulley, and it drives the pulley, this wheel, the other way. So that's how the transmission works. We'll just kind of take a look in here. That arm right there broke 2 years ago. Had to weld that back on. That seems to be holding up. I wanted to check that. But yeah, everything looks really good in there. Don't have any oil on the drive, so that's working really good. Alrighty. Alright, there's the first repair. Got those little ears right there welded back on. A little touch of paint, kind of keep things from rusting. So that wasn't much of a repair, but had to be done. This thing can't be flopping around underneath the snow blower. Okay. All right, we're going to go ahead and split this part right here at these pulleys, right here, and it's a couple bolts here come out. Then the bolt down there is loosened up. Same on this side. I've already got these two out, and then I'll go ahead and loosen that one up, and it should hinge out enough to get to where we can get at it. I'll need to take the control crank off. It's just got a cotter key right there, and then that pin comes out, so that'll get out of the way. So we'll do that, and I'll bring you back when I got her split apart. Okay, we got it all apart. Got the thing split. It's pretty easy. Once you get those two top bolts out right here, then
you loosen that one up, and as you roll it forward, it just comes right out of the slot. The belt just releases real nice. This is the brake for the auger mechanism. This pulley's held on with a set screw in the back. We'll take the pulley off, and then we can get the mounting for the auger. So once I get that pulley off, we'll show you what's going on. Okay, there we go. Pulley's off. Just got a couple of set screws there. And there was a keyway and a bushing on the shaft right there. I took the side of the chute off and straightened it up a little bit. I should be able to lift that up and get that auger out of there. So we'll try that and bring it back. All right, that bearing that was on that shaft was a little seized up. Had to take off the bearing guard. There's the bearing. It finally did come off. Sprayed a little liquid wrench on there, and that helped. So it should the auger should come out now. See if I can do this one-handed. It's just sitting in there. So there's the auger. Now we can get at the fins. You can kind of see how they're all bent up. So we'll get that done now. Well, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the shop. It's been a couple of days since we've worked on this snowblower, and I kind of went through my videos to see what I had, and I've lost some footage, but I think we can make something out of it. So I'll bring you along and show you what I've already got done. All right, in the last video, I believe we had had just taken out the auger, and I've taken the augers off this axle and split this case so I could get the second stage off. And so I got everything all set up here the way it came off, and these are just bolted together. So let me show you that second stage. All right, this is the second stage of the blower, and this part here was in that little differential, I guess you could call it. It's the worm drive that drives the big front blower. But I tried to take this off and maybe get a new one, but it is really seized on there. So I guess we're just going to wind up straightening this on the shaft. I didn't want to beat on it too much because I didn't want to bend the shaft, but I think we can go ahead and make this work so we can get some snow moved. So I'll get set up and get you looking over my shoulder so you can watch me straighten that. All right, I think I got a game plan on how we're going to get this straightened out. First, I'm going to try to straighten this backing plate. And I've got a few bangs on it here where I was pounding on it, trying to get it off. We'll get that straightened around. All right, I've got a pretty good system figured out now how to straighten these fins. I found a good position where I can clamp that into the vise pretty good. Then I'll take this spud wrench and bend the fin up so the fin is actually kind of twisted. So we'll bend it up where we're pretty good, and then it leaves a hump behind here. So we'll put the hammer back there to kind of buck that. Kind of eyeball down it. Pretty good. Eyeball this plate here. twist on that. And that looks pretty good. Then we just rotate this to the next fin. That's this one here. And it doesn't look like it's twisted any, but it's still got that little hump in the back there. Okay. Looks like this fin is rolled back some. So we'll put a little pressure on that. There we go. Little fin in the back here. All right. That's good. So we'll just keep fiddling around and tweaking that until we get it right where we want it. All right, I got it all straightened out. Got some few spots welded up there. It's kind of ugly looking, but it'll work out fine. As I was pounding on it, the vibration worked that penetrating oil through, and the shaft fell right out. It was just kind of amazing. But that got it so I could get it all up. Like I say, I put a few welds on it here and there where there was some cracks, and so there we go. We'll go ahead and get this cleaned up a little bit. It's all covered with oil, so I'm probably not going to paint it. I'll just let the snow rub it off. So, all right. All right, we'll start putting this back together. First thing I got to do is put the shaft here back in the front drive unit. So we're just going to kind of set this in there. Just lift that out. There's a bushing right here that goes in the front. Front of the shaft. And it's got a little flat spot on it. Okay, it goes just like that. So we'll put the flat spot up. Got a bushing in the back, same kind of flat spot, so that fits in there like that. A little oil seal. Okay. And we'll lower this down on top of it. Don't get it caulked or anything. There we go. And then it's just got these bolts that go around. Okay. All right, we got it all back together. There was some stuff underneath one of the bushings. I had to take it out apart again. But I've got it all nice. It's all freed up now. So it ought to work really good. So there's that. And we'll go ahead and put our augers on. See here. Maybe this way. There we go. Kind of bent up too. Just like that. That was going to work out just right. Give us a short bolt to put in there. All right, we're going to go ahead and put the blower on now, the second stage. Yeah, we'll get us a little bit of lube on that. It'll probably make things go a lot easier. Now let's try it. There we go. Line up our holes. Get a roll pin. Started. That's that. All right, I've got the chute all taken care of. I've pounded out all the big dents around in here. There's still a few, but yeah. That feels better. I've welded up the side here, and I'm getting ready to put the bearing housing on for the second stage. And it's just this, the bearing housing is just this little plate. The bearing just sets on there like that. Got three bolts come up from the inside. You got to put this on now because you can't hold the head of the bolt once you get the blower in there. It's in your way, so you got to do this first. And the last one. All right, so that's that. Now we've got to we got to take off one of those auger mounts right here so that we can bevel that auger in there. All right, and then the auger lines up right there into the bushing. There we go. All right. It spins nice and free. It's not rubbing on anything. Okay. Liking it. Got a little bend in the top here. There we go. All right. Okay, now we'll go ahead and put this pulley back on. Set our keyway here. Put my spacer on already. And let's see. Get this brake arm out of the way so that pulley can drop down in there like that. There we go. Alrighty. So that's basically ready to go back to the, put back on the body. Alright, hopefully you can kind of see what's going on here. Just line up those bottom screws in those slots that I showed you earlier. And like that. Start our belt on. There we go. Drop that in. Brake lever up on there. Bolt in there to keep it from moving around. Alright, got you around now so you can see what's going on. Put these two bolts here back. There's two more just like that on the other side. Over here. Okay, now we'll hook up this control here for the chute, the auger chute. Kind of get this set here. Okay, it's got a block, and there's a big hole and little hole. We want the big hole, and that goes like that. And then that little bar fits down inside there, kind of like that. Then the arm goes on. Kind of got to get everything lined up here. And the pin goes in from the back, so we can, and maybe we can get it from the front here. There we go. And then we'll give it a crank, bring it around so we can put our cotter key in. Straighten out the cotter key a little. Set that in there. Okay. Bend that over a little. Chute's working good. All right. All right. I think we're all done. We'll check the oil one more time. Make sure it's up. Right on the full mark. Take our little bag out of the gas tank so the gas tank can breathe. There's some throttle. Prime it a little bit. A little bit of choke. Turn the gas on. You ain't good without the gas on. Give it a minute here to get a little bit run down into the carburetor. I usually don't shut that gas off, but since I was tipping it around, I figured it better. Looks like she's ready to go. I'll get my coat on and we'll go out and try it out in the snow.